Hey, Howard. All right, y'all. So I'm running a little bit behind. I end up having to go and take care of some stuff. Um, I was trying to do a video this morning with the stuff that I bought, but it looks like some of my items were expired when I bought them from the store. So I had to take them back, and I have those items, so I'm going to record that video today. I had to wait until the hubby got home, and then I went to eat, and I had some other stuff to do that was work related. So that's why I'm getting on so late. I have not worked out yet. I have my workout clothes on, but I wanted to talk to you guys before I went to the gym, especially after I ate that Chinese food. So I'm definitely going anyway. I have tasked myself for 31 days. So the word of today is self accountability. Self accountability. I had 60 y'all. Y'all go. Self accountability is very important when you start to when you make the decision. Thanks for the thumbs up. When you make the decision to change your life and your lifestyle, self accountability is very important, because if you don't hold yourself accountable, then you can fall back into old habits. So I have some quotes that I'm gonna read, and then I'm gonna put my shoes on, and then I'm gonna head over to the gym, and we can talk there while I'm on the treadmill walking. I need to let my phone at least charge up to like 30% too, so it's charging now. So you must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, the wind, but you can change yourself. So basically, you can't. A lot of the times, you can't change things around you, but what you can do is change yourself and how you deal with things and how you react to certain things. Let's see, what's another good one? Accepting responsibility for your actions, being accountable for the results, taking ownership of the mistakes. So basically, if you do something, I mean, if you have actions, it's good or bad, take responsibility, say, I did it, yes, accept it, own up to it, and that even comes to from yourself. If you have good results or bad results from something you try, take responsibility and know that accountability, and know that you can always do better. Um, a lot of times people get responsibility and accountability confused. Responsibility is doing something because you have to, it needs to be done. It's kind of something that is needed. Accountability is doing something and doing it for the right reasons. And if you do it wrong or if you do it right, you accept responsibility for it, and that's holding yourself accountable. And I realized when I first started my fitness journey, I was not holding myself accountable. I'm going to say that again. I was not holding myself accountable, and that would cause, when I would make excuses. Okay, I'm not working out today because my leg hurt. I'm not going to do this because I'm tired, and I wasn't being accountable for my actions. So I knew that, at the end of the week, when I didn't lose any weight, or if I gained weight, I would just be like, oh, that's when I first started. I'd be like, oh, this and this happened. I didn't get up because I didn't feel good. I was sad. I was depressed. And I realized when I didn't hold myself accountable, I couldn't get mad at the scale. I couldn't get mad at myself. I mean, at nobody else but myself, because I didn't stick to what I was supposed to do, and I was blaming everybody else. So I learned that if I want to lose weight, I have to be accountable for my actions. Like, I know I can't eat certain things. I know I have to get up and go to the gym. I know I have to drink enough water. If I don't do these things, there's no reason to get upset and try to blame it on other people or other other actions, like, oh, I had to do a video. I just had to be accountable and say, okay, I didn't go. This is why I didn't go. What are we going to do it to fix it? Once you start holding yourself accountable, then you can start putting in place plans so that you can be successful in whatever you want to do. So you just have to be aware of that, because it you know, it will help you in the long run. Self accountability is very important because it will help you keep yourself in check. You will check yourself when you start using accountability. Self accountability is very important when you're trying to get your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, your financial health, all of those things in together. If you don't have accountability, then you got a problem. So basically what I'm saying, I'm going to give you guys definition. Self accountability or personal accountability means that you are responsible for your choices and your actions. You are the first and the last line of defense for your integrity. So, self discipline is your primary method for improving your life. So, this is exactly what it is. When you hold yourself accountable, you become more responsible. You make um, better choices. You know that it ends, starts, and stops with you. So you can't make excuses for yourself. Like, I don't really have no excuse. I woke up early. I did one video. I tried to do another one. It rained. I wanted to go for a walk, but it rained all day, so I couldn't go for a walk. I didn't have a way to the gym, so I'm taking responsibility for, not going to work out. I'm being accountable by going to work out tonight, basically. I can just make any excuse for not to go tonight, but I know I still have to go because I made a commitment to y'all. I made a commitment to myself, and I'm holding myself accountable. Therefore, I'm being responsible and I'm taking control of the weight I need to lose, how I'm going to feel about myself in the morning, um, and how I do things with you guys, because I can't ask y'all to work out for 30 days, 31 days, and take y'all fitness and health serious if I don't do the same thing. Like, I'm literally sitting here in my gym clothes, and I got my little Fitbit, and while I'm talking to y'all, I'm going to put my shoes on and my shirt, and I'm going to take y'all to the gym with me. And I may be off of here before I finish my workout, because I'm going to be on the treadmill for about a good hour tonight. And because that's what I got to do. So, yeah, just be accountable for your actions. Hold yourself to a standard that you will hold other people to. That's a lot of things. Like, a lot of people want you to be accountable and responsible. You want other people around you to be accountable and responsible for their actions and what they do to you. But a lot of times we're not accountable or responsible for what we do to ourselves, or what we should be doing for ourselves. So that's very important. That's very, very important. Let me find my shoes. Ooh. Alright, y'all, here I'm coming. I got my jacket and my shoes. And we heading to the gym. That Chinese food was good as fire, y'all. Y'all, I have been trying not to cuss. That's one of my New Year's resolutions. But every time I get on the phone with my sister, she make me want to cuss. Baby Frida, I know your ass on here. I think she on here. Y'all, she won't let me live in peace. My sister. All right. Got my purse because my ID is in there. Cut out my office light. And we heading down the street to the gym. See you later. Hey, can you put that stuff in the fridge for me?
Yes.
See you later, duty.
See you later, love.
See you later, live. All right. To the car we go. Ooh. Okay, y'all. I gotta let the seat up because I'm short. The gym. The community gym is actually right down the street from the house. I hate pulling out of the garage. Okay, let's see. Okay. I'm the only person who can't bag out without like their lights on. Like without their seatbelt on. I cannot get out of the garage with my seatbelt on because I can't see because I'm short. Oh my goodness. So I'll tell y'all one thing as a vegan. I have limited options on where I can eat sometimes. And I love Asian food, but a lot of Asian and Mexican food is vegan friendly. So I find myself eating Chinese when I need to eat out. Or I go to like Mellow Mushroom because in the area we live in, there are no vegan restaurants at all. But Mellow Mushroom does do vegan cheese and vegan pizza. So I tend to go there. Or to one Chinese place called Jin Chin. Or to like Royal Thai. But I love Asian food. I love rice. Like my biggest thing is like I eat rice every day, y'all. No lie. I eat rice. I eat beans. Like I got gas right now. And I know once I start moving, I'm gonna be pooping. Real talk. So how y'all enjoying 30 days of fitness? Y'all, it rained all day. It literally rained from 9 o'clock this morning to about 5:30, and then it stopped raining, and when we were leaving the restaurant it started back raining again, and it's been crazy. Like the weather has been crazy. So as y'all can see the rain on the back window. I'm coming up on the community center. It's been crazy. Like, in the last couple of days we had a good time. Like today I was supposed to walk 8 miles and tomorrow I was supposed to walk 9. I ain't walking 8 miles on a treadmill, sis. That ain't gonna happen. But I did say I wanted to get me some. Hey, Redbird. I'm doing okay. I'm coming to the gym. I think it's somebody here. Hopefully they not on my treadmill. Hopefully not. Or I have to go to the other community gym. Oh, see what my chart is on. 27. No, they not. I like being in here by myself because I got gas tonight, y'all. Ooh, I ate broccoli today. I had beans. I ate some stuff I wasn't supposed to. Well, healthy stuff. Yeah, the weather was real bad today. Like, no lie. I was blown. It rained all morning, y'all. It rained all morning, and it's drizzling a little bit now. Ooh. Okay, let's see. Quick start. All right. I wish it wasn't raining today. I can believe it's flooded in some parts of Mississippi because y'all, the pools that I keep the lettuce in, um, the pool that I keep the lettuce in, and around the garden where the collard greens are, it started to like raise up around the water, raised up around those areas. So I thought I was gonna lose a couple of my collard greens. I wasn't really concerned about the lettuce because it was in the pools, but the water kind of came up on the side of those. The cabbages were fine, but everything got plenty of water today. We've been getting a lot of sun. The last couple of days, so it just all depends. I'm gonna stand my jacket until my body temperature comes up. But yeah, it's been crazy. Man, I should have bought my charger. I could have plugged my extension cord and my charger card up. So I'm at 27% on this phone, y'all. So yeah, it's been crazy, this weather. Get up to 2. It's been real crazy. So I don't know how many miles I can get with an hour on this treadmill. But we gonna see. I'm gonna stay on until my phone is at like 10%. But my goal is to get an hour on the treadmill. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I've been a little stressed out today. Um, I know y'all been watching the news. Um, I know a lot of y'all been seeing what's going on with the strike on Iran, the Iran military official. Um, I kind of had a feeling something was going on because for the last couple months, people on base have been moving different. We live on a small training base, and they have been deploying people from this base that they usually don't deploy. They've been mobilizing people with jobs who have specialty skills here for the last 3 months. And every time we go to Mobile, there are trains full of like um, Humvees, ambulances, Jeeps. I mean, not Jeeps, like Humvees, tactical vehicles. They've been moving a lot of stuff towards like the coast area. Um, and you can see it going into Mobile. And that's how they ship a lot of the stuff overseas. Um, and just a lot of weird stuff had been going on. And when they deployed the 80 airborne, I knew something was going on because the airborne always move first. And a lot of them were on Christmas leave. That's not what a lot of people don't know. A lot of the airborne soldiers were on leave for the holidays. Um, some of them didn't even have a whole week notice. So some of them didn't even have time to like prepare their families. Um, it was really abrupt. So there's a lot of people in the military community kind of like on edge right now. Um, my husband said you can tell that a lot of people are stressed. So it's really scary for a lot of families right now because we don't know what's going to happen. It's it's really scary. Sorry about that. Hey, Frida. So it's really it's really it's really scary. Um, I have a lot of spouses that I know. Hey, be red. Yeah, we definitely need a lot of prayers. I have a lot of friends who are airborne, whose spouses are airborne, and you need time to prepare for deployment and to go forward. And this is not like people who are SF with special forces, like they don't ever have enough, they don't get noticed a lot of times. But it's a lot of people, especially at like Fort Bragg. Um, it makes me want to cry thinking about it. Um, who had no notice that their spouses were going to be pushing forward. And people don't realize there are a lot of assets that move with the 82nd Airborne. So you have people who weren't even 82nd that have to go too because their support. And I see a lot of people, the strike on the Iran military general, the 82nd Airborne being mobilized. I see a lot of people making jokes and memes on Facebook and Instagram. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's It's scary because I have seen the effects of war. I have seen the effects on the soldiers, the kids, the wives, the moms, the dad. And a lot of you guys don't know, but I work with Gold Star. And to see people, to see children who are 2 and 3, they never meet their dads. They never got to meet their dads. Teenage kids, you know, their dad's never going to teach them how to drive. He's never going to be at their wedding. He's never going to make it to their graduation. Some of these men, they die before they even get to hold their own children. Some of these women are widowed at 22 and 23, young. Some women are in their 40s. Their husband is served. He about to retire. And the next thing you know, boom. 1 year, 6 months to retirement. And now she got to put him in the ground. That's what people don't see when they look at military families. They forget that. Or if your spouse do come back, they change, male or female. You cannot go there and come back the same. It doesn't happen. And people don't talk about that. And they think it's funny. And they make jokes. When they don't understand if this thing goes left, it's going to be a lot of people who suffer. And then people don't think about the innocent children on this other side. At all. People shouldn't make fun because I've looked into the face of a widow before. And she got 3 small children. There's so many reasons. I mean, this whole situation with the Middle East has been going on since I was a little girl in the 90s when the first Gulf War broke. And if you think about it, most of the millennials, most of our teen years, in our childhood, we've seen war. We've spent it in a wartime. People don't think about it. You still have what we call war brides. People get married before they leave, or people get married shortly. When I got married, we got to spend our 1 year anniversary together, and shortly he was off. He was gone. I traveled for the first 2 months, and then after that, I had to go back to Kansas. They started 3 months ago. Small movements, but it was hard. That 9 months was hard. I was in Kansas. I was alone. It was snowing. I was depressed. Um, One time, well, 2 times, they had casualties. And when they have casualties, um, there's no contact because they've had issues where a soldier would die and one of their buddies would contact the wife before the military could contact them, and they could have, um, the casualty affairs go over it to talk to the wife. So now, when somebody dies, in certain places or something goes wrong, there's no satellite. They cut all communication. So there was 2 times that they had casualties. That the only reason we knew something was wrong because we couldn't get emails. Our emails weren't getting to our spouses. We couldn't Skype, Facebook. Everything was dead. So we knew somebody had died, but we were on pins and needles for 2 days because we were trying to figure out, like, who is it? Who died? Who got hurt? And that's scary. Because when they cut all communication and connection, something has went horribly wrong. And that is the worst fear in the world. Um, People don't understand. Or I can remember once you sign that uniform, you take an oath, you do basic, you cannot refuse. There have been people who've been at the end of their contracts, but if they didn't have enough bodies, they do what they call a stop loss. They can stop you. If you're about to retire and they don't have enough bodies, they can stop you from retiring. They can recall you if you're on the retired list, if you have a specialty. There's a lot people don't understand about the military. People think we live for free, that we get discounts on everything. Oh, they get 30 days paid vacation, they get medical. But it's so much more to the bullshit that people don't understand. Like, when your husband is off. Okay. You can be a lot. Back in the day, you could even be executed for going AWOL. You can lose your rank, you can lose everything. That is a dishonorable discharge. Like, you can never come back from that. Especially during wartime. You are screwed. And to go AWOL now with social media, cameras everywhere, you'll be caught. If the Army really wants you, you're caught. It's not a game. And I look at the young soldiers. Oh my God, they look like babies, y'all. Some of them kids, fresh out of basic, probably been at their duty assignment. They decided they want to go airborne because they get a little extra pay. They get the thrill of jumping out of planes. Some of them 18, 19, 20. They ain't seen the world. They ain't had kids. They haven't experienced life. And they got on a fucking plane. And the reality of it is, not all of them gonna come back. And some of them, if they see too much, they might come back, but they might not be the same. The benefits are still good, but the price you pay for the benefits is what's not good. Like, what you live in the civilian world is something different. Like, when you off, you off. You know, they can't call you at 3 o'clock in the morning. They can't tell you you gotta go. Kiss your wife and your kids goodbye. That's it. They can't do that to you in the civilian world. And it's not easy as y'all think being a military spouse. because sometimes when you're older or your spouse has more rank, you got to look after the when they go forward. You got to help with the spouses who are younger. Some of them be 18, 19. They may have one baby, another baby on the way. They high school sweetheart. They so in love. He deployed, and they be so devastated. Some of them be depressed. Um, they be scared. They be in a new place, and then he come home. He ain't the same person. My husband deployed for 9 months, and he changed. It changed him a little bit when he came back. And after talking to his parents, the first two times he deployed, he was not the same. The first time he deployed, he came back, he couldn't sleep. He still had problems sleeping. Um, the second time, he got screwed. He was supposed to deploy for a year. He ended up staying over there for 2 years with 60 days leave, like 30 here and another 30 there. And he was on a 5, which is a base, for 2 years of his life working. It's a lot of stuff that people don't know. When you sign them papers, the Army, the Navy, the Marine, the Coast Guard, especially active duty, they own your nuts. And they can't even sue the Army when they active duty. So it's nerve-wracking. And then you got to think there's a lot of airborne. It's some moms who got on that plane. There's some mothers who got on that plane who left their babies at no notice. Can you imagine being a mom? You get a call, you got 72 hours to mobilize. So you got to have a care plan. So whoever you have your care plan, they got to get there. You got to go. You wake up for 2 days. You spend as much time with your kids. You pack your gear. And boom, you on a plane. You gone. And you don't know when you're going to see your kids. That's what a lot of people face. I firmly believe they already knew they was going to have a strike. I know that they're having problems with the embassies over there, but I think more is going on because from what I heard today, and I don't know if it's been on the news, but 1,500 more soldiers are moving out. We got 9,000 boots on the ground, 3,000 just mobilized, another 1,500 are moving out. That does not include special forces because they're not going to count them. And it also doesn't count all of the assets, like the attachments or the specialty people. And then when it comes to here, where we live, pilots, there are going to be a lot of pilots leaving. Straight from here to the duty station overseas. It is not funny. Yeah, a lot of people don't have an idea. It's not funny. And I watch my husband struggle a lot. Because he's seen some horrific things. Like, I remember before he deployed, his body, it's like his whole way of thinking, his whole way of how he did his day-to-day things, how he would sleep, everything changed. He became like a different person. Like, I want to say, and it got worse as time came close for the deployment. It's like his spidey senses were kicking in. He wasn't sleeping right. The posture and what he sleep started to change. Like, I can remember, like, some nights we would be in the bed and I would be watching TV and he might fall asleep. He would sit straight up, look around. His eyes would be closed but open. but he would be sitting up, sleep, looking around, and then he would go back to sleep. People don't realize like how much damage it does to the psyche. Um, and even when they come home, it takes, I want to say, for every month they're there, it takes them about 2 months to adjust to back home. It took almost a year and a half for him to kind of adjust. It's a lot. And people wonder why the military divorce rate is so high, because they don't teach spouses how to deal with and how to handle the situations. And you don't think your spouse is going to change when they see the shit they see. You know, especially like, people in like casualty affairs, um, morticians, nurses, doctors, chaplain assistants, medics, you know, just people in jobs that, people don't think about. Like, they see some shit, you know. I have a chaplain assistant who worked with my husband in the same area, and he still have a hard time sleeping. And he's been in like 18, 19 years. And the amount of young people he has had die in his arms is staggering. I have another friend who was a mortician in the military, and going out to retrieve the bodies, preparing the bodies, cleaning them up, trying to repair their faces when they've been disfigured so that they can make them presentable for when their family receive a body. Like, these men and women are never going to be the same. And that's why I think I'm so irritated at the stuff I've been seeing on Facebook and Instagram today. It's not a game. It's not a joke. Everybody in that country that we might be having to attack, or who might be attacking us, everybody is not with it. They got some innocent people who gonna lose life. You got some young people who gonna come back like the Walking Dead. Because they're gonna come back. Their body is gonna be alive. Their mind and their heart gonna be dead. You got some people who gonna just come back plain old dead. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm terrified. Cause if this shit go wrong, I could be taking my husband to the gym, helping him pack his bag, taking him to the gym, watching him get off on the bus, and driving to get on the airplane. Because after they get on the bus, we don't see them. That was hard. Getting that morning, making him breakfast, helping him pack his last bag, talking. You have to talk about things like, if something happens to me, this is here, this is here. This is who needs to be contacted. This is what needs to be done. You get in the car, drive to the base. You give them a hug and a kiss goodbye. You watch them get on the bus, and they drive off. And you just don't know if they're going to come home. You don't know. Like, you don't know if you're going to meet them back at that same spot, and they're going to come home, or if somebody's going to knock on your door and tell you, okay, your husband's a casualty of war. Just, you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to get a call that your husband been hurt. He in Germany. I almost had a heart attack one day. I got home and I saw a whole bunch of soldiers like outside of my apartment, and they were in their dress blues. And I did not want to get out the car. I didn't want to get out the car. I was scared to get out the car. My heart was racing. I called my sister, she didn't answer the phone. I called my aunt, she didn't answer the phone. And I got out the car. I sat in the car, I want to say, for about 45 minutes, y'all. Because they was sitting in front of my apartment. And I knew everybody else was at home. And because so much had been going on, I was scared to get out of the car because I thought they was casualty affairs coming to tell me something had happened to my husband. And when I walked out, they was like, I was like, hey, how y'all doing? They was like, oh yeah, we getting ready to go to a military ball. Y'all, I almost passed out because in my head something had went wrong. Because you don't want to see the blue uniforms at your house when your husband or your wife is deployed. You don't want to see that. Because you know it's bad. Y'all, when I got up the stairs, I opened the door. I passed the fuck out. I was crying. I was screaming. I was trying to Skype my husband. I was trying to Facebook him. At that time, it was like around the time that they go to PT. I was panicked. And he finally called me back. And he was like, what is wrong with you? And I was trying to explain to him what happened. And it ain't right. They come home, they tired, they burnt out, they be looking unhealthy, they physically tired, they mentally tired. People don't understand. It's called casualty affairs team. Like, they show up like, you don't want them to show up. You don't want to see them at your neighbor house. You don't want to see them down the street. You don't want to see them. Because America is a capitalist country. And we have so much at stake in different countries. And so many countries have so much at stake in us. And this is where I tell people they need to read. There's a lot of places. People don't think about it. There are so many countries that we're invested in, and there are so many countries that invested in us. So what people don't realize is that the United States does not own our own capital. It's owned by a banking system, a firm, and countries. We do not own Washington, D.C. That is why it's called the District of Columbia. Our country is basically going bankrupt, and some other things happen, and money and land. So we have a lot of interest all over the world because of that. Our Constitution is solid, but when we sign the Declaration of Independence, there were some things that aren't really talked about, and not all of the articles are in there. Also, when we signed the peace treaty with England, the United States said that it would never have a king or a queen, and that England would always have a stake in our country. So we really don't own ourselves as much as people think. If y'all ever notice, when England moves, the United States move, Australia move, Canada move, the Netherlands move, because all of those countries have a stake in the United States. We just outgrew them in power. But if they all turned on us, we would crash. Our economy is built around other people's economy, and our economy is dependent on them, and their economy is dependent on us. So we're going to always be at war for money and land and natural resources. People laugh and they wonder why the United States is in Kuwait. Do you know the Kuwaitis own two of the largest banks in this country? That's why we are there, and that's why we are protecting them. We're one another allies by force. We have to because our economies are dependent upon each other, not because we love each other. So I'll give you guys an example. The power of your passport is based on um, your country's ranking, their financial ability, and what assets they have. So the less your country has, the less power your passport has. So if you want to look at passports, United States and England, Australia, Finland, Ireland, and a couple other European countries, France, have free moving passports. They can pretty much go anywhere in the world because their passports are stronger. Now you look at a country like Mexico, you look at some of the African countries, they can't even go visit other countries without getting a visitor visa. I can go to England, or somebody from England can come to the States and stay there for 4 months. I think, no, 6 months, and not have to have a tourist visa. But if you were to come from Mexico or Guatemala or Chile or Ecuador or from like Kenya or what's another country? Ghana, even though these countries have a lot of wealth, their passports not valued. They would have to get a visa, a visitor's visa, a tourist visa to come here for 3 or 4 months because their passport does not hold strength. So that's why the American passport is so important. And they tell you if your passport gets stolen and you're in another country, you definitely have to report it to the embassy because that passport is like money. An American passport in the if found or stolen in a certain country can be worth thousands of dollars because all they gotta do is switch the paper out. I mean the picture out, which is easy. So when you look at the worth of a country or how involved they are, if you want to know a lot about a country, go on Google and put in passports, and it'll show you like which countries have the most movement with their passports, and that's how you know where a country stands with wealth and power. It's the passports. And countries with brown people are usually lower in African countries, no matter how much money they have or resources. I would not be surprised. Africa is always in conflict with each other, but the continent itself is starting to mobilize and stick together. They have more natural resources than anybody. So I would not be surprised because the way the African Union and the African countries are moving, they're coming together. They're taking their resources. They're taking their land. They're pushing the Europeans out. I would not be surprised in 20 or 15 years if all the Western nations turn and focus and target the African nations because that's next. Because you look in the Middle East, they have all the oil. You go to Africa, not only do they have oil, they have uranium, they have gold, they have silver, they have diamonds, they have platinum, they have natural springs. They have everything. Africa does not have to import anything. They have land, water, sea, air, desert. You know, they have precious metals that they have just discovered in the last 5 years. And a lot of these cars we see, like these electric cars, these watches, the titanium that they get can only be found in Africa. So when certain areas have certain resources, other countries who have more power are going to always target him. Always. It's always going to happen like that. And that's just what's happening now. And y'all might think I'm crazy. Just go and do a little bit of reading. It's knowledge. And the poorest of the poor, the brightest of our kids, our grandchildren, our parents, our grandparents' generation, they gave their life. And a lot of it wasn't really to free people. It's because it was a rich man's war. And we never see a dime. We pay the cost of it, but they profit. We will always pay the cost, but they will profit. And that's what it is. Me, you, the taxpayer, will never profit from war. Only the rich people will. We will pay for the war with our tax dollars, with our children, and our family members. We will never profit from war. Never. We will not profit. You'll pay for it, yeah. Every time a soldier goes to the VA, or every time a soldier gets amputated, every time they file a VA claim, every time a soldier dies, we pay for their children to go to college. Their wife gets a death benefit. Their children gets a death benefit. You know, they get medical care. We pay for it. We're going to pay for this war with our tax dollars, and we're going to pay for the side effects and the after effects of this war, and we're paying for it now. My husband has been in the military 23 years. His whole career, minus 4 years, has been at this country, has been at war. And he is tired. And it's a lot of them who are tired. You got a lot of spouses who've been with their husband, and their husband been in 18 and 20 years. She tired. People be like, oh, military spouses, they look horrible, all that money they have. She tired. She fucking tired. She got kids. Her husband is always gone, not because he want to. She got to stay strong. She got to look strong. She got to take her kids, take care of them. Every other year, she's a single parent by force. Okay, people say, well, get out of the military. A lot of times, they get out and they can't find jobs immediately, or they're so screwed up until they have to, do years of therapy. They families just suffer. People don't understand. You don't understand. People don't understand. People don't understand. My husband is tired. Can you imagine? You train them, they kids. He has had kids come in at 17, 18, 19. He train them. He teach them how to do their job. He send them to their first duty station. Some of them make it to their duty station. They deploy. And then he get an email from somebody he spent 6, 8, 12 weeks training. Is coming back in a box. Imagine the guilt he feels. Imagine all these men, these colonels, these lieutenant colonels, these sergeant majors. They train, they organize, they lead these young people into battle because they're doing their job. Some of these kids are the same age as their children. Some of them, their grandchildren, the same age. And then they can't even bring them all home safe. And that is what messes a lot of people up because they become family. Yeah, you got a lieutenant colonel. You got that sergeant, that private. He might be hard on them, but he loved them, and he gonna lead them into war, and then he got to come home without them, or they got to go home in a box before him. Some of them, they get attached to these young people, and then they have to stand at their ceremony and try to hold a brave face and send their bodies back to the States. And then when they get back to the States, they gotta look in their mom's face, their dad's face, their widow's face. Y'all, it's deeper than what y'all think. Y'all think when people say they got PTSD, are they suffering? These soldiers are suffering. They suffering. People don't understand. And I keep saying that's why I'm so pissed at the comments I keep seeing and the memes on Facebook. Because the shit ain't funny. It ain't funny. It's not funny at all. And then you still have to get up every day. You still have to live. You still got to figure out how to survive when the best part of you is somewhere you know they in harm.